Hey guys, Wadsm here. So today, Nintendo finally released another Slosher called the Bloblobber, I think. A pretty strange name, pretty hard to pronounce anyway, but yeah, Slosher being my signature weapon, I just had to test out this weapon immediately. I just want to give a slight overview over the weapon and just give my thoughts in general, what I think about it, and yeah, without further ado, let's dig right into it. So let's start with turfing. Its turfing is actually decent, nothing too bad right here, nothing too good either. It's gonna get a decent amount of specials during a game. I can tell that from just having played a few times in solo queue, so nothing to worry about here. It has quite a lot of killing power though, like you can see, you can easily just one-clip people if you just manage to hit all your shots onto one target. Killing is definitely one of its major strengths. It also has quite a lot of range to it, like the shots travel pretty far. And you can actually increase your range by aiming upwards, because once the first shot hits the ground, it determines how long the projectiles will travel. So like if I just shoot here on the ground, you can see it won't travel that far. So if you're aiming for people which are who are far away, just aim above them so your shots travel a longer distance. The best thing about this weapon arguably is that its projectiles actually stay on the map for about 2 seconds, so if you just keep spamming, you can shut down corridors like that solely with your projectiles. And the other good thing about this weapon is that its projectiles actually bounce off walls, so you can easily just kill if you know your maps pretty well, you can get some pretty cheesy kills onto enemies. And for example, like this enemy is completely out of line of my sight here. I'm behind a wall, and I'm still able to kill him if I angle the shots properly. You see, and that's like the in my mind the major strength of this weapon. So you need to think out of the box to actually make this weapon work. Like you see, you can pull off some amazing kills with it. Combining your killing power and your ability to make your projectiles bounce off walls and simply that they stay on the field for a long time, this is a pretty good spacing and crowd control weapon, because opponents really have to respect your bubbles, and you can even just shoot your bubbles in a horizontal line, like that, you see? So you're gonna shut down a lot of space, and I'm really glad that the developers actually gave it a set which works with the weapon, because like wall and rain, those are pretty good crowd control tools as well. So finally a pretty good set onto a new Slosher. Let's just switch to some gameplay so you guys get a better feeling how this weapon works in battle. So like I said before, if you know your maps right and just play around objects and play with the ability that projectiles can bounce off walls, you're gonna be a major threat to everyone. From what I've seen, its projectiles work a bit strange on ramps, so you gotta be really careful that you don't aim on the ground while being on ramps, otherwise your shots just simply won't connect onto people. So on ramps, I advise you to just aim at people directly. That's definitely better. It's also pretty hard to kill enemies above you, since your shots travel in a straight line and yeah, in general pretty slow, so not a good tool to contest people on high ground. It also can't contest inkjets. That's one, I would say, its biggest weakness so far that I've discovered yet, especially compared to Slosher, since Slosher is arguably the best weapon to shoot down inkjets from the sky. So compared to Slosher, it's kind of disappointing in that aspect. And in general, I would say you want to take a bit of a slow approach, just play your spacing game right. Wait, for example, for your rain to come up and play around that one, because this weapon has some amazing crowd control, not gonna lie. In general, the weapon feels pretty smooth, not like, for example, Slosher, the previous released new Slosher, because Slosher has some pretty nasty weaknesses to its main weapon. The Bloblobber doesn't have that, so this weapon feels way better than the Slosher from a first expression, you know. Yeah, this weapon is only in the game for about a few hours by now, but I would recommend some main saver, sub saver, and maybe ink recovery up on this weapon, so you can just keep spamming those bubbles. You can also maybe just play some special charge up to play around Rain better. Otherwise you can just add some special saver, quick super jump or swim speed. You never do anything wrong. It's just stacking those abilities. Also I would say this weapon is a pretty map dependent weapon, so it's gonna excel on some maps and won't be as good on others. But we gotta figure out on which maps it actually works best yet so. And also speaking about modes, I think it's gonna be better in some modes and worse on others. Like, I can see it being a bit weaker on towers, simply since it can't contest tower that much. But on the other side, it also has some really strong tools to actually push the tower, like wall onto tower is still a thing, which doesn't see much play because there's not a super viable weapon with wall in this game. But especially for zones and Rainmaker, I can see it being a pretty viable weapon. Yeah, so in conclusion, I think this weapon has great potential. It's finally a promising, newly released Slosher. Definitely the best one they released yet from the new ones in this game. Like I said, it's maybe gonna be map dependent, but it has so many great and unique aspects to it, which are not in the game yet. So I would love to see it being a pretty viable pick, and I would love to see play of this weapon on the highest level of gameplay in this game. Make sure to let me know what you guys think of this weapon. If you have any other feedback, just leave it in the comments. Also leave a like and a sub if you liked it. I would really appreciate that. So that's it from me. I hope you have a good one. See you around, guys. Wadsm out.